Hey guys, welcome back to FYI. It's always a pleasure to have you guys with me and listen to me. I don't take it for granted, not even for a second. So today I'm going to be talking on certain psychological hacks you should know. Now, I found this very intriguing when I was doing my research because I'm like, these are some things that most times you could just overlook them because you feel like, it doesn't matter. But if you look at them critically, you'd realize that these are very, very important. And it's things that if you follow them, you would just have some sort of ease because it enables you just do things better and just know certain things that people on a normal day would not get to do or know, right? So let's dive right into it. Number one, when somebody answers you ask someone a question, yeah? So when somebody answers your question partially, right? Wait. Don't say anything, just wait. Chances are that they would complete the answer to that question because if you tend to say anything in response to them, they might just stop. So you ask somebody a question and you feel as though the answer is incomplete or they're answering partially, just wait. Like, just chill, just wait. Chances are, more often than not, that the person would continue and give you an answer to the rest of the question. Number two, when you meet somebody, try to always notice the color of their eyes. Now you might be like, why am I noticing the color of anybody's eyes? That's just awkward, like, okay, weird, right? But hey, you know what they say about communication? One of the rudiments of proper communication is being able to maintain eye contact. So you could just tell your mental state that, hey, all I'm trying to do is look at the color of this person's eyes. But by the time you're looking at the color of the person's eyes, what you're doing is maintaining eye contact. So when you talk, when you smile, try to notice what the color of the person's eyes are. Not because you want to say, hey, I know the colors of your eyes, but hey, that's going to help you to be able to maintain eye contact. And it just helps it makes you appear as somebody who is more direct, who is more confident, who is more of a go-getter. So always try to look into the eyes to know the color of the person's eyes. Number three, a person's name is the sweetest sound in the world to that person. Say my name is the sweetest, okay? So always when you're in a conversation with somebody, always try to remember the person's name and repeat the person's name. I remember a couple years ago, I had a team of people that I had to life coach for a certain event. And I kept talking to them about like when you're speaking to somebody after the person has given you his or her name, in between, talk and mention the person's name. And they all gave me some look like, why would I keep doing that? But eventually they got back to me telling me how much it's been able to help them. Being that he say, let's assume I'm talking to someone and his name is John. I'm like, how are you doing, John? We keep talking. I'm like, you know what, John? Okay, John, you could try this later. So by the time you keep trying, intermittently mentioning the person's name, people love to hear their name, and it also makes the other person feel as though you're really, caught up in the conversation, really interested in him or her. It just makes the whole conversation take a different turn because it's like, okay, I'm talking with somebody who is really interested in me and what I do, and possibly really cares about me because people love to hear their names. So when you ring their names back to them, it makes a whole lot of sense. Try it. Number four, have zero expectations, particularly when you're trying something new. Trust me. Just, I'm not saying don't, we speak about optimism all the time on this channel, right? But just on a general note, have zero expectations, particularly when you're trying something new because it helps avoid disappointment because you could get into something and you're so full of hope and light, like, oh wow, this has got to work, and then it flukes and then you get so disappointed, almost to the point of getting depressed. Not a good look. So just have this approach of zero expectations. I hope it works, hopefully it does, but if it doesn't, whatever. It helps you because then you're not caught up in the middle, you're not disappointed, you're not sad because you had thought that, okay, this might not work after all, okay? So approach stuff with zero expectations. It helps all the time. Number five, to be able to judge a person's character, and this is very important, notice how they treat people who cannot do anything for them. Most times people always suck up to people who they can benefit from, who have maybe contacts or maybe who have money or people who are famous or people who are popular. They just tend to just suck up to them because, okay, you have one or two you can gain from this person, or people will consider you to be cool because you're with this person. that doesn't really tell much about a human being. But if you want to know the true nature of someone's heart and the person's character, look at how this person treats people who he has nothing to gain or benefit from. Is he rude? Is he inconsiderate? Is he impolite? If this person acts that way with somebody he can gain nothing from, then that is the true nature of the person. You don't need to be told a story. You don't need to be given a sermon about the person. That in itself speaks volumes. Number 6, when you try to learn something new all the time, teach somebody about it. I remember when I was in law school, right? Certain courses, I always would look forward to having group discussion sessions, because after I study and I come into those sessions and I'm able to teach a colleague or two of mine who do not understand it, by teaching them, I learn it better. By teaching them, I reinforce what I had already studied. By teaching them, I end up teaching myself. So anytime you learn something new and you're still trying to learn the ropes around it, trying to acclimatize, still trying to become a pro at it, you could foster all of that and make it go way faster by teaching somebody else about it. By doing so, you also end up teaching yourself. So you teach somebody, but it's for your own benefit. Makes a lot of sense, right? It's like a win-win situation. Number 7, this is also really important. When asking for favors, try to always use the word because. Give them a reason as to why this favor is needed. You know why? Because when you put a reason, this other person at the other side of giving would realize that, okay, there's a reason for why I'm needed to do this favor. There's a reason as to why I'm needed to carry out this task. That makes the person more caught up in why he wants to fulfill or why he should fulfill that particular task. So always put a reason, right? Like, hey, John, we're using John hypothetically. John, I need you to help me go to the market because we need to cook to eat. There's somebody who hasn't eaten for a day and he needs to, so it just adds a reason to the why and makes John realize that, okay, I need to do this, or in my doing this, I'm helping to meet a need, or in my doing this, I'm helping to solve a problem. So that usually helps because if I attach the reason to it, and then this other person also feels like he's part of something. He's not just running an errand, but he's part of something. Makes sense? Yeah. So finally, and very importantly as well, emotional expressions oftentimes leads to emotions. Check out this example. If you're moody and you force yourself to smile, you actually will feel better. All right? So try it. Try it and see you're having a bad day. Try to do something positive with your emotions and you would see how it will change your mood. It might not change everything about your mood altogether, but it will definitely put you in a state that was better than where you were before. This is just a very simple psychological hack that works all the time. You feel depressed, you feel sad, somebody brought bad news to you. Just look for the positive in something else and watch how your mood will change and eventually you'll get over it. So yeah, that's it for today. This is me having given you 8 psychological things you could do to just live an overall better life. And I hope you take all of this into consideration and make it work for your good. Thank you guys for watching. It's always a pleasure. Remember today, make somebody smile because it doesn't cost you anything. Always, always, I love you for watching. Peace.